This is Listen Lakeland, the show that keeps you up to date on all things happening in and around the Lakeland area. Here's your chance to plan your family activities and learn more about what your city government and your neighbors are doing to make Lakeland a great place to live, work, and play.
Thank you for joining us for the February edition of the Listen Lakeland radio show, a show highlighting people, places, activities, and organizations that make our community an exceptional place to call home. I'm Kim Elmhorst with Lakeland Vision. Lakeland Vision's community-driven focus area of strong and safe neighborhoods has so many goals that pertain to the topic we'll be discussing today. But if I had to pick one, it would be a sense of community. And that goal is institutions, organizations, and neighborhoods will create and support a cohesive and engaged community that fosters intergenerational and geographic unity. Today's show will feature something I'm very familiar with, and that is Bonnet Springs Park. I've been a part of the creation of this park from almost the very beginning, but today I have three wonderful guests who will help me share what's been going on at Bonnet Springs Park. So let me introduce you to my guests, Heidi Waldron, our Bonnet Springs Park Development Director, and Linda Rice and Ellen Salm, who are our Public Phase Campaign Chairs. Hi, ladies, and welcome.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. First off, Heidi, for those listeners who are not familiar with Bonnet Springs Park, please give us a quick overview of the park and construction update.
So we're currently constructing a 180-acre park in the heart of downtown Lakeland. But it won't only be for Lakeland citizens. It'll reach Polk County and all of Central Florida because we will have access right off of the Central Florida corridor on I-4. So we're super excited about that. In terms of construction, we've broken ground on our 8-acre built-in lagoon, which will be a huge feature of the park. We're very excited about that. It's currently filling up with water from one of our fresh springs. And then we've also, if you've driven by or if you've noticed or been following along with the project on social media, you've noticed that we have our mountains, and our mountains are currently at peak. We're very excited about that. And we actually had a top secret photo shoot and video shoot the other day. So we're already utilizing them to really pay focus and attention to what Central Florida has to offer.
That's so exciting. Tell us a little bit about what is going to be available at the park. So this park is not football fields or soccer fields or baseball fields, but what is this park?
Right. I'd like to describe it as an immersive experience for any age. So not only for families, but for gatherings, for picnics, for bike riding, for runners. We have something for everything, from our restaurant that is great for a date night that will serve locally sourced food on a seasonal basis with a chef-driven menu, to our children's museum. We're partnering with Explorations 5. We're extremely happy to have them as part of this project. We'll have an event center that will be able to hold 350 to 400. So we anticipate hosting several celebrations of life and weddings and corporate events. We also have hiking paths. We have high-speed bike lane for bikers that are avid and want to get those miles in without screaming left or right at pedestrians or runners.
Nice.
We anticipate also hosting 5Ks and different runs, as well as hiking events. We will have butterfly gardens on site, 5-tiered playground for any age, really, to hike and climb and play and dig and get in the water, to have fun and encourage outdoor growth. And we also have the lagoon, which I mentioned earlier, and that will feature paddle boats and kayaks and just really an immersive experience within the water. We're not going to encourage swimming. As we all know, alligators are transient. We've gotten a lot of questions about how we're going to keep the alligators out, but this is Florida.
Right. Not possible.
So,
right?
Not possible. So we're definitely going to have crystal clear water, absolutely beautiful, and also our wetland excursion. So we'll have a boardwalk that circulates out through our wetland area. So those birders and those naturalists that want to get out and really immerse themselves and be away and focus on the natural environment, you'll be able to access the wetlands through a boardwalk. So really, when I say there's something for everybody, there really is. at any age. And no matter if you're a large family or small family or out on a date night or just want to come for a run every day, it's going to be completely accessible.
Okay, and will it be free?
Yes,
Yes.
park entry will be free. So coming in and out of the park, no problem there. We will have upgraded opportunities for different events, movie nights, things like that, which will help us earn revenue. And we are a 501c3, so that's really important to note that we are going to be looking for different revenue sources, and also we're going to continuously fundraise. So we're going to look for support throughout for the park.
So one of the really cool features, I think, is the tree canopy. Can you describe that a little bit for us?
Yes, that's actually one of my favorite parts. We've secured a lot of the oak line that existed on the land, and we have very large elevation changes throughout the land. So one of the best parts is that we're elevating a treetop canopy walk 25 feet up in the air, and it's completely ADA accessible. So even though the elevations will change from the past, coming from Ag America Heritage Gardens onto the canopy walk, it'll be completely accessible for anybody, no matter if they're wheelchair or scooter or just walking. It's completely friendly, and they'll be able to have that experience.
That's really exciting that everybody, every generation, every ability will be able to enjoy the park. Okay, so you did mention that Explorations 5 is going to be at the park, and they're moving from their location on Munn Park. Describe the space. Also describe for us the lawn that's going to be on the outside of that museum as well.
So Explorations 5, if you've been there, it's currently in 25,000 square feet of exhibitory space. We're building a 2-story state-of-the-art building that will feature 40,000 square foot of indoor play space and 7,000 square feet of outdoor play space. So that 40,000 square foot of indoor will feature 5 exhibits based on the 5 senses. Brand new exhibitry, focusing on the best of what education offers and then the future of education and play for children, as well as a black box theater within the 40,000 square feet. So when that theater is not being utilized for amazing world premieres of exhibits traveling through the United States, it's going to be utilized to put on plays and focus on the arts and culture of Lakeland. And that outdoor play space will feature Blinky. So if you know, if you know about Blinky, you know. But he was an alligator that lived and existed in Lakeland for several years. So we're bringing him to life in a jungle gym form, and children will be able to play and get some exercise outside while paying homage to Blinky.
And my understanding is that is actually what you will see from Kathleen Road.
Yes.
That will be what you can see, because the mountains will sort of cover up the rest of the park, acting as a sound barrier and
Yes, the mountains are acoustically sound, and that's because we're building a great lawn. So the great lawn is completely open, green grass. It will serve about 5,000 to 6,000 people at max. And we anticipate having large events there for the community. So we're not really rivaling Mid-Florida or RP funding, but we're looking to enhance what the community currently offers and attract additional events. Make a home for classical music and jazz concerts, Friday night lawn movies, different variety events like that that will focus on family, friends, outdoor picnic, and then just arts and culture.
So it'll be beautiful when it's not in use as well.
Yes.
You can go throw a Frisbee, play with your dog, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, one other exciting thing that I know that the public asked for was event space. So describe this is really exciting, I think, for Lakeland. Describe the event space that we're going to have on Bonnet Springs Park. And this, of course, is going to be revenue generating for the park as well.
Yes, it's part of our sustainability. So the event center will feature a great event hall, which will seat around 350 to 400 people, give or take. Also a wedding lawn that will serve around 250 to 300. So just imagine that at sunset you could get married on the wedding lawn and then walk in and have your reception at the event center, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a very natural and neutral palette. So for brides or different event planners that plan to add some color or get really creative in decor, we've made it very easy to work with that space. as well as attached to that space is an outdoor kitchen. So if you're looking to house a corporate event or a family reunion, or you want to serve your own barbecue at your wedding, I think it's up to you. But we plan to utilize that outdoor kitchen space along with the event center during those events. So we're very excited about that.
That sounds really beautiful, and I think much needed in Lakeland. Okay, so also I'm really excited about what's attached to the lagoon. So describe for our listeners the nature center.
The Nature Center. So we do plan to house field trips. One of our education models is to educate about water conservation and sustainability. So we will use that education center as a centrifugal place to utilize the lagoon and the education center. That education center will be able to seat 50 students, and we'll be talking about local conservation and the local wildlife, as well as the history of the land, Florida water table, and overall water conservation sustainability and what that means to the state of Florida, as well as Lakeland, and how students can get more involved in that and just being educated.
So having been on the property myself, I have seen the flume that runs through the property, and it's bringing runoff from neighborhoods that are sort of off of Memorial Boulevard. And what we plan to do is to clean up that water before it goes into our lagoon, which is what you mentioned, that the lagoon is going to be crystal clear. And the hope is that we'll have fish in there and turtles in there again, and birds and thriving wildlife. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And then also, as far as programming for the Nature Center, our hope, right, is to have school children come every year for field trips.
Yes.
And
we'll have park rangers on staff that will be running programming on a daily basis. So not only will we utilize that space for field trips, but during the weekends, families can take advantage of the programming that the park rangers are going to do, and have an educational experience as well as getting out and learning about nature and Florida wildlife.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so you did talk about bikes. So
Yes.
I know there's two types of bike riders. There are the slow bike riders like myself, and then the ones that are really speedy and fast and like to go 50 miles in one day.
Right.
So describe the two different locations that these bikers will be biking.
So we do have a high-speed bike path that is on the same path as our main entrance. So that is completely separate than the leisure bike riders, I would say. The leisure bike riders will be able to utilize our circulator, which is a 20-foot wide path, and it's going to end up a little around a 5K. So you'll leisurely be able to bike within the park. And then if you'd want to get your miles in on the high speed, you can also utilize that and really get your miles in without screaming and yelling at each other and or worrying about running each other over.
Oh, that's exciting too. And there's going to be connectivity, from what I understand, for the high-speed bike paths that are already in Lakeland, so that those people who want to ride 50 miles will be able to be completely connected.
Yes, we're connecting to the downtown bike path, and we're only a mile away from bike. So we will have a safe and secure entry for bikes coming onto the property. We're working with DOT right now to make sure that happens. And so it'll be an under or overpass. We're not exactly sure where it'll end up. But it'll definitely be a safe and secure way for bikers to access the property from the downtown corridor.
So when you're talking about downtown corridor, why don't you tell our listeners how close we are to downtown?
We're so close. Well, we're only a mile away by bike, and I think a mere minutes coming off of Main Street right onto the park. So it's just so convenient, and the quality of life will increase tremendously when this park is built. We're very excited about what this park will bring, not only to the community, but local businesses. And as the growth of the park continues, especially in expansion of tourism, we're excited to show tourists what Lakeland has to offer and Polk County has to offer. So we're the possibilities are really endless in terms of business growth.
Well, and what we're excited about is the fact that we're actually expanding downtown. And we did hire park planners from a firm in Boston. And in Boston and in big cities, they walk. Lakelanders don't like to walk unless we walk in a circle around Lake Hollingsworth. But one of the park planners did walk from Munn Park to Bonnet Springs Park, and it was a 10-minute walk, which is, I think, really exciting when we do have that connectivity. We didn't talk about dogs. I know there are a lot of dog lovers out there. So let's talk a little bit about dogs.
Dog lovers, you'll be excited to hear that we are going to be a dog-friendly park. So we are going to work on a schedule in terms of off-leash and accessible areas for dogs to roam free and when they can, but we are going to be completely dog-friendly. So we're very excited about that.
Awesome. And then the last question I have for you in this segment is, when will it open?
We are looking at 2021, give or take. Mother Nature is kind to us.
Yes, we've had some Mother Nature issues, that is for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Hurricanes in Florida will prevent you
Yes.
from doing a couple of things on that park. So
Okay. Well, great. That's good. That's good to know. I know that our listeners will want to know. So when we come back, we're going to be talking to Linda and Ellen about the public phase of Bonnet Springs Park.
This is Listen Lakeland, the show that keeps you up to date on all things happening in and around the Lakeland area.
Okay, so welcome back. I have Linda Rice and Ellen Somm with me. They are the public phase campaign chairs. So what is the purpose of a public phase?
Well, the public phase is when we shift the focus from what has been happening over the past few years has been fundraising. It is a privately funded park, so there's been a lot of people involved in raising the money to help build the buildings. And that's been kind of the major gifts phase, and shifting into the public phase is when we go out to the community, outreach to them, educate the community at large as to what is Bonnet Springs Park, how can they be involved, pique their interest in when it opens so that everyone wants to be there and attend. And how we're going to do that is through we'll have a smaller fundraising campaign during the public phase. We will also be doing reaching out through schools and educating children so that they bring that message home to their parents about what a great park this is going to be, and also through selling merchandise.
Okay, great. So describe then also what this public phase does entail and then when it launches.
The public phase is going to officially launch March 12th.
Okay.
And the public phase consists of 5 different committees that we have. And one is, the first committee is the events committee that's going to be tasked with the grand opening, which is going to be in 2021, which is going to be
Grand.
and community-wide. Our second committee is our special projects committee, which they'll be selling benches and bricks
Okay.
to people all over the community so they can make their mark on the park and buy things to fundraise and help the park. We have a marketing committee that is really helping with publications and outreach through mailings and social media and things like that. We're selling merchandise, which hopefully people will see throughout the community. We have tote bags and freezer bags and hats and wine coolers and flashlights and
I have to
blankets for the park.
Well, I have to say that the grocery bags are amazing, and I think that the Publix baggers really like them too because they have like a spot where you can stick your wine, or somebody put soy sauce in one, and so I think it's really fun, and they're really big and they're not very expensive.
They're $5.
Yes.
And they're available at the park, or there'll be information about merchandise online.
Perfect.
And our final committee is school projects, which is going to be outreach to all the schools in the area to educate and to get the children all excited about coming to the park and learning about the park and learning about all the opportunities at the park.
So have we set prices yet for the benches or bricks? I mean, I know this is a way for like everybody in the community to get involved. So they're not going to be like, so you wouldn't have to spend $10,000 to be a supporter of the park. So it'll be something that everybody in the community can do, correct?
Right. The bricks are going to sell for $200, and those will be, after March 12th, available to purchase online
Okay.
through the website. And you can personalize them with whatever family or whatever names you'd like. And the benches, which are going to be placed throughout the park, are going to sell for $2,500.
So if we don't have places to sit, it's because people didn't buy benches. So everybody needs to buy a bench so we have places to sit in this 180-acre park, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Is there anything else that you can share about the public phase for us? Anything that else we need to know? This is really exciting because this is when our community as a whole can get involved. And this is not just the city of Lakeland, right? This is Polk County. This is the state. I mean, this is going to be a destination for Polk County. So when people say, I'm going to go to Disney World, they're also going to say, hey, you know what? We ought to go check out Bonnet Springs Park as well, right? So
Yes.
is there anything else we need to know? Heidi, you got anything else you want to share as far as that goes? No.
Well, we're hoping with all the outreach starting on March 12th through the media and through social media and the press that we will get a lot of publicity and people will learn all about the park. That's our goal, is to really educate people about what a great thing's going to happen to Lakeland.
So this is really advocating. It's advocating time. It's spreading the
Yes.
word time.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I do have one more question for Heidi. I would like to find out from you, Heidi, if there are other funding opportunities for the park.
We will always have additional funding opportunities for the park because we are a 501c3 organization. All of the donations count really at the end of the day. And right now they count more than ever because they're helping us build anything from a playground to a building. So yes, we have existing opportunities in our not so silent capital campaign that we're currently running. And that information is located also on our website at www.bonnetspringspark.com. And you can find a wealth of information there, and or you can click to donate. So you don't have to worry about, if you just have $10 to donate, that's fine. You can donate online. Every little bit counts to help us achieve this goal in building this park. That will be a community asset for all of Central Florida, as well as those visiting Central Florida, to show what we're capable of doing and how beautiful the city of Lakeland is, as well as Central Florida.
And so it's going to be really important not only to construct the park, but to fund the park and be sustainable in the future as well.
Absolutely.
We didn't talk about the restaurant, so I've questions about what are going to be the food options in the park. It is a private park, so am I going to be able to get a glass of wine or a beer when I go to the park? Those are the questions I'm sure the listeners would like to know.
Yes, listeners, you will actively be able to drink wine and beer and possibly cocktails in different locations. So the restaurant will be a full-service restaurant, so we'll have a full-service bar there. Very excited about that. We'll also have a cafe, so a rooftop cafe that'll exist on top of our normal cafe. So our cafe attached to the Children's Museum by sidewalk will offer family-friendly options so you can have an immersive experience throughout the park during the day. And you feel like you don't need to leave and pull your screaming kids out of the play area, that you can feed them and keep on playing all day long. On top of the cafe is where the adult fun comes in, and that's going to be a bar area. It's where we're going to anticipate holding VIP events prior to shows on the Great Lawn and different things, but you'll actually be able to get service at that cafe and at that bar. So yes, absolutely. We're wine, beer, and cocktail friendly. We just want everybody to have a really great time and have a wonderful experience, no matter what their interest is at the end of the day.
Right, and I think what's really exciting is our proximity to the RP Funding Center. So I've been using this as an example. Mom has a conference, the family decides to come along, and Dad can walk the kids over and hang out at the park all day. And there will be something for them to do all day long, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, whether it's climbing a hill or playing in a playground, the playground, all of those things are completely accessible. So you can come and not spend any money at all and keep the kids entertained and have a wonderful resource for healthy activity, for family bonding time, and or just relax after a really long day at work and walking down a trail.
So I can bring my peanut butter and jelly sandwich
Yes.
on property.
Yes.
And my cooler.
We will not check your
Okay.
I mean, for some events we might check your cooler,
Yes.
but for day-to-day basis, yes, you can bring your own peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So I know that there are like big ticketed events at some of these really great botanical gardens and parks, and there's like Christmas light festivals and that sort of thing. I mean, do we anticipate doing those sort of events as well as revenue generators and community builders and that sort of thing?
Absolutely. We're kind of doing our research right now and to see what kind of programming we're capable of offering. We will have educational staff coming aboard with us within the next year. So programming and event staff as well. So we're looking forward to maximizing the capacity and the usage of every aspect of the park. And whether that's a tree extravaganza with decorating during Christmas time, or an afternoon picnic celebration with jazz music playing behind you, anything that can really be an educational opportunity or a family bonding time, we're looking into. So we're very excited.
And one thing that we didn't mention over by the outdoor garden was the greenhouse. And so tell us about programming opportunities with the greenhouse, the outdoor kitchen,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
So the Harrell's Botanical Gardens will feature also the Harrell's greenhouses, and those are 2 greenhouses. And we anticipate writing curriculum and having educational partners that allow us to educate children on how to grow and resource their own food. There are a lot of areas, specifically in Polk County, that are food deserts. And what we want to do is really impact those areas and educate children throughout where their food comes from, and utilize every aspect of the park to do that. So not only will we utilize the greenhouses, but we will also utilize the outdoor kitchen to do a full circle programming opportunity, so that the kids can grow their own food, they can plant it, watch it grow, and then bring it in and cook it, and have chefs teach them how to be healthy and that you can resource your own food, and where it comes from.
And I think we did not mention one exciting partnership, and that's with United Way and the museum.
Yes. The United Way will have offices within the museum, which will allow them to expand their resources for community members. Very excited about that, and they'll be within the Explorations 5.
Yeah, so they're bringing family fundamentals over. Currently, they're housed in their Munn Park location, but they're going to be bringing them over, and I think that's really sort of an exciting culmination of all that we're going to be able to do and the families that we're going to be able to service at the park. And I think that's really exciting. So at the beginning of the show, I did mention my involvement in the park. And one of my roles is the creation of Friends of Bonnet Springs Park along a 12-member board. So many organizations have this type of support group, and Friends of Bonnet Springs Park will help the park be sustainable for the future with our volunteer support and possible project fundraising support. So right now, it's a bargain. It's a household membership for $30, and we have over 400 households who have said, yes, we want to support this park. So this membership is going to be annual, and it's going to probably change slightly when the park opens and we can offer some benefits. But for now, we just need people to advocate and spread the word about the park. We would love 2,000 household memberships by park opening. And this is a way for the entire community to get involved. So you can sign up for Friends of Bonnet Springs Park and keep up with what is going on at the park by going to our website at www.bonnetspringspark.com. Ladies, thank you all so much for being here today. Bonnet Springs Park will truly be an asset to our community, the county, and the state, and I know I cannot wait for opening day. We invite you to visit our website, lakelandvision.org, to view the entire community-driven vision, and you will find that this park meets a lot of the goals in the 4 focus areas that you will find on our website in the community-driven vision.
Listen Lakeland is brought to you as a collaborative project between Lakeland Vision, the City of Lakeland, and Hall Communications. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.